pretty strange week of The Bachelorette tonight. We had a one date episode. I don't think that happens very often where we have an entire episode with one date. I can't really think of any other circumstance that would lead us to a one date episode, but with the way that this season has kind of had to milk the drama, they made the most of it here and really milked everything that was going on tonight. Like, you think about the Thomas situation, it really wasn't that big of a deal. He had a guy, he was there for the wrong reasons, he got sent home. A lot of other seasons, that's just something like it's one conversation or it ends up being one person versus another person. But this season, it ends up being the entire house versus Thomas because he's not there for the right reasons. Like on a normal season, I feel like Thomas would have got a rose this week and would have ended up in a 2-on-1 against Trey or something along those lines. But the way things are playing out this season, that is not the case. Let's go back to the start of the episode to our one date. It was a group date. Really had what I feel is a group of the stronger competitors for this season. I think there was Greg and Mike P and Andrew S all on this date, all kind of front runners. And we didn't really get to see much of them last week, and with how everything went down, we still didn't get to see that much with them this week either. When we go into the night portion of that date, and Trey, he kind of takes his shot at Thomas, derails the rest of the entire date. That that kind of changed the tone for the whole episode. Trey, besides getting the drama, he did get one pretty hilarious scene, and that was when Christian was waxing his butt crack. Kind of absurd and absolutely hilarious. One thing I'm curious about, I'm sure on the preview we saw Andrew S. get his armpit waxed, and then he didn't get waxed on the date. So I wonder if that's footage from something else, or just something that we didn't see. Overall, we didn't get to see many guys actually have like good time with Katie, but there were a few that stuck out to me. Andrew S., Greg, Michael. To me, those are three front runners, and those were pretty much the only people who actually used their time this week to progress their relationship with Katie. And we've seen in past seasons when all this drama starts happening, the people who steer clear of it and actually focus on their relationship with Katie and tend to make it farther, because now, like, Trey gets that group date rose, but it was really Andrew and Greg who got that good quality time with Katie. I think there was other guys who didn't even get time with Katie on that date. So those moments really matter, and those are going to be people who we see surge to the front because they're the ones who've actually developed their relationship with Katie. I'm really hopeful that out of the situation on the date where we kind of ended up with a little Andrew versus Trey moment, I hope that doesn't blow up into the next thing in the house. And it kind of feels like maybe the arrival of Blake will derail that from happening. And the whole conflict between Andrew and Trey, Andrew was saying, use your time to better your relationship. Don't focus on the drama in the house. And Trey has already seen for past actions from Katie that she's going to reward people who are telling her what's going on. And that's what he does, and he gets rewarded. But long term, I don't think that is what's going to get Trey to the end. And I think Andrew's tactic of, actually talking to Katie, actually getting to know her, is going to work much better. Blake, let's cover Blake pretty quickly here. I feel like they jumbled the timeline a little bit here. For any of you who watch Bachelor Fan Take, he did a little conspiracy video on Blake showing up. I really don't think, like, they kind of framed it as, oh, he showed up yesterday. It's now the rose ceremony. I'm going to ask him to join the house. And I don't think that's how things played out, because Katie said, you know, you've been here such a long time. Waiting from that final group date to the rose ceremony doesn't feel like a long time to me. So I think that he was here earlier and they just kind of jammed him in this episode to get him onto the season for next week. I did enjoy the moment of Blake getting locked out. You know, he had to have been dead asleep at that moment. The rose ceremony, the cocktail party didn't start till midnight, so who knows when they had the rose ceremony. And then after the rose ceremony, she goes to talk to Blake. Obviously woke him up. He just like he could barely open his eyes, had no clothes on, comes out of his room, gets asked to join the show and locks himself out. Kind of hilarious. Thomas, he's gone, he's done, he went home. But once again, you know, he's trying to apologize to everybody and saying how he now values their time when he jumped the line, skipped the entire cocktail party to go talk to Katie and ruin the whole cocktail party, and like just doesn't get it that that is exactly what they don't want him to do. Ultimately, I don't think Thomas is as big of a villain as he was played out to be here. I just think he's a guy who's a little narcissistic and not really cognizant of other people, other people's time, and is just focused on himself. I think it was silly for him to even say anything about thinking about being the Bachelor. It just came off weird to me, like he almost got forced into answering that question when he said like he wasn't necessarily here for, or he was there to get exposure for himself and possibly become the next Bachelor. Like obviously every guy there has had that thought, thinking about being the Bachelor, but didn't go about it the way that Thomas did and didn't openly admit to it. If Thomas had just denied that, I think this all would have just gone away and he'd still be on the show. MVP of that rose ceremony, definitely Justin. Absolutely loving his facial expressions. You know, it's shades of McKenna. I think that was, I don't know, was that Peter's season? I don't remember. But she had those wild facial expressions. Now Justin, he's the new king of facial expressions. Hopefully we can get both of them onto Bachelor in Paradise, because I got to see it. I got to see both of them together just making faces at people. All right, that is where I'm going to end things for tonight. As always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, we'll see you later.